top guy in that class. That's my ultimate goal, to really be compared to Chris Bumstead. That's what I want to see.
Yeah. Can you share us a little bit when you say you finally now realized how to get that conditioning? What does that mean? What did it take you? What is the extra things you did to nail that extra condition that you did for the Romania Pro?
Well, it's always the case of simply sticking to the basics and not overthinking things. That's what a lot of bodybuilders nowadays try to do. But it's simply all about starting to prep earlier than normal so that you're safe, so you don't have to push anything in the last few weeks. Because that's what I used to do. That, I noticed I want to see certain details in my legs. If I don't see them 3 weeks out, you have to push yourself too deeply, and then you can't properly carb up, because then you get a rebound effect in the wrong way, like an overly rebound effect where you get water retention, and that's not what you want. So taking it slow and pretty much being condition ready 3 weeks out already, and then slowly maintaining that, and you will automatically become better and better, filling out those muscles a little bit more. But simply don't overdo it. The only cardio I did is simply walk outside for an hour in the morning, fasted every single day, did nothing extreme, just dropped the carbs every single time that my weight stalled and my conditioning stalled. So at the end, the month before already, I was in better condition than at the Chicago Pro, for example. So that already brings a lot of peace of mind, and with no stress, you look a lot better as well. So all little things combined really bring up much different physique. So this time I can make that process even more efficient. So that's what I'm going to do.
With the changes you made for the Romania Pro prep, because of maybe the mistakes you made for the Arnold Classic prep?
Yes, at the Arnold Classic, it also went wrong at the end, because I figured out I have quite, I'm tall, so I've got a lot of muscle mass, and it simply needs something to hold that fullness. Because even though if you're very conditioned and you're flat, you won't look as conditioned as you truly are, because nothing is pushing against the skin. So I noticed that one simple ingredient, the sodium and the salt, normally a lot of bodybuilders like to cut it out entirely, weeks on end. But I noticed that during the Arnold Classic, when I did that, even though I was conditioned, I simply couldn't get a pump backstage, and it didn't look good. I was too flat. My abs didn't show, even though there was no fat on them. But if there's nothing pushing against the skin, it's just going to look like a flat sheet, and that's not what you want. You want something pushing against the skin to give you contrast of the muscles, of the muscle bellies. So I kept the salt in all the way until the day of the show, and that really made a big difference as well, combined with having even less fat, less water retention, and that really made a difference for me.
I mean, without sodium, there's no water in the muscle, so it's not a full muscle. I did that for my first ever prep. I cut salt out weeks out. I was weak, flat, and then I put it back in, and my muscle just looked completely different. So, yeah, fantastic.
So you're doing no shows in 2020 other than Olympia, correct?
Exactly. That is my prime.
Oh, okay. Nothing. No warm-up shows. No Tampa.
No. He's a big man. He just needs one show to come in perfect condition.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm going to do. The mistake I made last time was simply doing a show right before the Olympia, and I can only peak really good once. And there was enough time in between the Arnold Classic and the Romania Pro that gave me a little bit of an off season to really reset everything and then go back into prep mode. And that allowed me to look a lot better at the Romania Pro than all the other shows before. So I imagine that this time the Olympia will have the same effect, but then to an even greater extent.
You were a lot quieter, because I was surprised to hear you were doing the Romania Pro, because it's like you kept it, because normally you're like, okay, 6 weeks out from the Arnold, 6 weeks out from the Olympia, you're normally and you didn't really post that much. I didn't really see anything. You weren't on our radar for doing the Romania Pro. So when you did it and you won it, I was like, wow, I didn't know Wesley was doing that. It was a big surprise.
When I saw him in Romania, because I didn't know you were doing it, and I saw him walking around in that looking a bit tall, with tanned up, and I knew, oh, Wesley, it's gonna be lights out. You knew it, didn't you?
Yeah, that's what was a plan, and I was surprised when I actually saw the competitor list of Romania Pro. I simply saw a lot of names I honestly didn't really recognize. I had no idea who was going to compete. I was just like, okay, I want to do a show that's close to home, so I don't have the jet lag and stuff like that, the same time zone pretty much. And I don't care who's going to compete. I'm just going to show up my best possible condition, the best possible shape. And that really worked out. And the reason why I didn't tell anyone is nowadays with social media, whenever you post a picture, people will have their opinion ready for you. And I just wanted to experience what it was like to still post my pictures and my videos without them thinking I'm doing a contest. So without their opinions about how I should look that many weeks out, because I just wanted to experience what it was like to do a show without anyone pretty much knowing. And it felt pretty good because I was still able to do everything, still be transparent about how I look without having the pressure of people, telling me, oh, you should look a lot better this many weeks out, because that has happened to me a lot with the other shows when they compare myself to other guys who compete in the same show. They say, oh, they look much better than you right now. So I just didn't want to experience it this time just to see if it would make a difference, mental state-wise. And it pretty much did, because I like that feeling. I like to be, to go into the show really fresh, no one expecting me to do anything. And to win it then, that really was a surprise to a lot of people. So that was great.